Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host and Rumble of Resonance, Ken Levine. I'm a singer and vocal coach here on YouTube, and today we are looking at Deftones and the song Passenger with its guest vocalist of Maynard James Keenan, and we're going to do that right now. This was a song that sort of bubbled up on my radar. I don't know anything about the Deftones. It's not going to be a surprise to many of you out there who have used this channel regularly. There are a number of bands that have just passed me by, and to my eternal shame. But I'm making great strides to rectify that, and we're going to do that today with this song. This is a video that was released a couple of years ago. It's got a visualizer on it, so it's some neat visuals with the original track from the album. And okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. You really only need one chord for your intro of your song. That's just it. Just one note, really. That's all you need, and a wicked beat with a really punchy snare. I love it. I get sucked in by these sort of breakdown moments, and there's no warning when all of a sudden the distorted electric guitars and the drums kick up a notch. Boom, you're right there. One of the things I was listening to or contemplating as I was listening to that was the eternal freshness of some of these classic songs, the ones that avoided gimmickry, ones that were trying to reach deeper into that primordial well of creativity and use sounds that feel more organic. I know there's a lot of effects on all of these records. On every track you go through, and you probably listen to them and try and break them down, but there's a few artists out there that when you listen to it, it doesn't necessarily feel like the song is trapped in a particular time and place. Like this song is of this era, of this time, in this particular sort of underground movement in New York City, or some groove from California that just was so hip at that particular time. This sort of feels devoid of that, a little bit more in the, trying eternal realm. I don't know where I'm riffing with this, but something about this music does it to me. Yeah, listening to Maynard's vocal here, I'm like inspired. I want to sing like that. When I grow up and learn to sing, I want to sing like that. That grittiness in the vocal, the distortion that is so clean as you hear it. He does that glissando up from the beginning of Passenger. He's like humming and then. I can't. As I listen through the headphones at my voice coming back to me as I'm trying to imitate that, it just sounds so weak and pathetic. But you know what I'm talking about. Let's just see if we can back it up. I'm your passenger. Drop these down, put them on me. Nice, cool seats there to cushion your knees. Now to calm me, take me around again. Don't pull over. Listen, won't you please? Roll the window down, this cool night air is curious. Let the whole world look in. Who cares who sees what's at night? Roll these misty windows down to catch my breath and then go and go and go. Just drive me home and back again. Real freshness at the beginning of this phrase from Maynard as he closes out towards the end of it. I don't know if you heard it or felt it, but I sort of felt a sense of fatigue, just trying to maintain that energy all the way out through those phrases. There's an intensity and a drive behind it, and just trying to keep it at that intensity all the way throughout that. That's a tough line. And I mean, to the degree that he's successful, I mean, it's a killer track. It just sounds amazing, but I just was pointing that out, this sort of the feeling, the energy behind the note, rather than necessarily trying to find fault with it. Not that I could. Feel my shoulders just going up like this all the way throughout that exchange, or the guitar doing that particular riff. And I'm not entirely sure what those intervals were. I could feel this tension, and as soon as that release happened, like on a dime, I felt my shoulders just go down like this. My shoulders drop. That's the point, sometimes when you're listening to a song, different tensions start to creep in unknowingly, subconsciously. You're holding yourself, you're carrying yourself in a different way, and you're transported physically I truly believe that music has that capacity to just, the vibrations of the frequencies begin to manifest themselves in our being in a variety of different ways that is really hard to quantify. And then, when something like that happens, it's just so visual and so obvious. That's an interesting effect. I don't know if any of you guys felt that, or gals felt that at all. So I wonder how he's achieving that particular effect. There's this sort of latency effect that I'm perceiving. I don't know how to describe it. A phasing effect. Maybe that's just it. It's very, maybe it's more simple than I'm trying to make it. You can put a phaser, phaser. Phaser's just done. You can set a sort of a phase plugin on anything really, on any of your tracks, and it produces this sort of really phased, distorted reality effect. It's subtle. It feels really subtle, but I'm certainly sensing it. Or you can do it with vocal doubling too. Just wanted to add that as well. Sorry to ruin the groove here. That's it. There's still 20 seconds. What's going on? The horse just rides on? Does the horse just ride on? There's nothing left. That's just it. Okay, cool. That's all part of the trip. I think that when you're watching the visualizer, it's very hypnotic, just those black and white images. And they draw you into some other plane. I don't know how to describe it other than that. All right. Yeah, always a trip to see these, to listen to these creative cats do what they're doing and on a kind of a different level. Like we're not looking for top 40 hooks here. This is an experience. And you're just a passenger. Maybe that's the point. The voice is calmingly explaining you as a passenger you're along for the ride. Don't worry, we're going to take you where you need to go. I did find those sudden changes, those incredible gear shifts between this sort of breathy, sparse passages, and then immediately, no preamble, no warning, boom, you're driving hard. You're at full speed gallop. That was, again, that's part of the point. And I don't know, another thing that occurred to me as I was listening to this, at what point when you're creating something new and you're not following any particular formula other than your own creativity, when do you know you're finished? When do you know when the song is done? When you've said everything that this 6.5 minutes needs to say? I think that's a fantastic question. I mean, most songs today have their own natural conclusion because that's what the formula dictates. We have a verse, or we have an intro, we have a verse, and maybe another followed by another verse, and then into a chorus, and then there's a bridge, and then there's another chorus, and then there's an then there's an outro, and then you're done. Or maybe you have a guitar solo or something in between there. This isn't like that, doesn't flow that way. This is not the nature of this particular kind of creativity, this kind of music. It's a different trip. It's a different ride. So how do you create structure as a band? Especially, sometimes when you're trying to, I guess you would perform this live. How would they perform this live? I wonder. Like, it's just, incredible piece of music. And I'm glad I had the opportunity to go on that particular ride, be a passenger on that ride. Maynard James Keenan, of course, interesting and never boring vocalist, has a lot of different vocal tricks in his grab bag of vocal tools to utilize and shape that particular journey. Always interesting to hear what he has to say and how he says it. Awesome. Now, I'm interested in what you have to say and how you say it. Leave your comments down below in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking. Where did this particular song take you? What part of the journey did you spiral off into your own fractal universe? And yes, as always, if you're not yet a member of this fantastic community of music lovers and vocal aficionados, consider joining by hitting that subscribe button and also hit the bell icon. I can't think anymore. What did you do to me? Deftones. I could never think anyway. Just consider hitting the subscribe button. That would be really helpful. And if you have made it to the end of this lengthy video, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.